What's up guys, and welcome back to Machines Inc. And in today's episode we're going to be creating a storage platform for my Jeep XJ Rocklander. So when going off-road, it always is my pet peeve when stuff is bouncing around in the car. But not only is it annoying, but it's also super unsafe. So I really like to have areas to strap everything down in the vehicle when going off-road. So I've already created kind of a basic platform in the back of the Jeep, which houses all the tools. So if you were to roll over, get in a crash, hopefully it would hold all those tools in the back area. And on top of that, I've put down some LTrack so I can strap down lightweight stuff up high, stuff like sleeping bags, sleeping pads, that kind of stuff. But now comes the rear seat portion of the Jeep that I want to go ahead and add another platform back there. So we can strap down the cooler, chairs, camping table, all that kind of stuff. So nothing will move, nothing's rattling around, and my head can be clear on the trail. So we're going to continue on with that idea with a platform in the back seat area with some more LTrack. So let's get to measuring, cutting, and knocking this thing out. Alright, so I got the basic structure all together. I'll show you guys that. So it's upside down right now, but I got these two pieces cut out, somewhat fitted, and then I went ahead and used some wood glue and just stapled it together with the handy dandy Harbor Freight. It's a brad nailer slash stapler, but I used some brad nails with the wood glue to hold that in place. So now that I've gotten my main platform kind of set up and set where I wanted it to, I went ahead and laid out the camping gear that I want to strap down to the platform and kind of mapped it out. So the biggest thing I'm trying to do here is I want to move a lot of the heavy items to the very center of the vehicle and as low as possible. So one of the heaviest items that I want access to is my cooler, just to be able to grab snacks on the go, things like that. So I want that to be as close to the driver and passenger seat, which is a good thing because that's going to shove it towards the middle of the vehicle and center that heavy item. So after I've mapped everything out on the platform, now I'm going to screw down some LTrack to it. So I'm a big fan of LTrack. Essentially this is just aluminum track with multiple bolt holes to mount to a surface. And then on here you can use this is kind of like the main style clip that goes on them, but there's a few other options. But these guys essentially will clip in, lock in, and then it gives you a tie down point off of the LTrack. The reason I'm a big fan of this is not only do you have the adjustability to move where your mounting point is if you want to mount up here versus down here, but also it's giving you multiple bolt holes. So it's giving you a little bit stronger setup to tie it down versus if you're using just like a standard D-ring from Home Depot. Those are just going to give you like 2 bolts versus here I can spread the load across 4 bolts across a wider area. So really versatile. The stuff is kind of expensive. Depends on where you buy it from, but you can get the little shorter like 6-inch sections like I have for pretty darn cheap. The longer you get, the more expensive they get, but it gives you a little more versatility. So now that I've got it mapped out where I want these on my board, I'm going to go ahead and drill, bolt these down, and then it's going to be time for final installation on this thing. All right, and then here it is fully loaded. So everything has its own space. So starting here, got the water jug. So we got that strapped down. Back here, we got my camp chairs and camp table strapped down, one over here and one on the other side. Cooler, obviously got to have that for some drinks and snacks. Then in the back area, have these little lightweight tie downs. And like I said, I put all kind of lightweight stuff up here. So this is stuff like sleeping bags, sleeping pads. And that way I don't want to put too much weight up high to raise the center of gravity. So these are just easy to get up and out of the way. And I don't need heavy duty tie downs for those. And then here's that full length LTrack across the back. Then coming over here to the passenger side, this Hercules bag is kind of a placeholder. I'm gonna have just a camera bag right here. So this is easy access right behind the driver's seat. So that way I can come back here, grab the camera out, that equipment pretty easy. And then you can see the other strap on the table and chairs here. And then lastly, have the Element fire extinguisher over in this top corner because I can access it from the gull wing window or from the door. It's not super close to the driver, but I figure that's an easy enough spot to grab it. Then down on the floorboards here, I left that empty so we can throw personal bags. So I'll throw mine below down here. Kaylee can throw hers over on the passenger side behind her seat. And then we can fit kind of like our snack bags right here in the middle. And underneath here, I have a few things shoved in. So mostly recovery gear, stuff that I'll just leave in the Jeep. So stuff like soft shackles, recovery straps, things like that. So overall, I'm happy with how this whole thing turned out. Kind of my main goals that I wanted to accomplish was 1, everything has its own place to be tied down individually. B, I wanted this whole system to be lightweight. Adding like drawers and all that kind of stuff adds a lot of weight to the vehicle, and I don't want that on a car like this. And then lastly, I wanted to try to put the heaviest items as low as possible and as centered as possible in the vehicle. So by having my water and cooler and items like that right in the middle, I think that's going to do a really good job of distributing the weight over the axles. Now, the only thing that's not great as far as weight balance is I do have all my heavy tools in the trunk area, but the reason that I have it set up like that is because by putting the tools in that rear area, if I lock just the trunk door, that pretty much locks all my tools back there. So driving around town, I'm not worried about leaving this thing unlocked. So let me know what you guys think about this system. I'm pretty stoked on it, and I think it's gonna work out great, but let me know what you guys do in the back of your off-road vehicles, whether you do drawers, platforms, any of that kind of stuff. Thanks for following along, guys. If you do want to see some more off-road and 4x4 content, make sure to subscribe to Machines Inc. as there's a lot more stuff coming your way. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at Machines Inc. Jake, where we post some kind of updates before videos come out. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.